Okay, so if you wanted to do this, instead of using audio, you wanted to use signing, you could do that. And the way we would do that is you do a lot of the things the same way. You conduct your interviews the same way as you conduct the other ones, but you'd use your video camera or a phone, and you would record them visually signing. And then if you look here, I have the 3 interviews. So a lot of this is gonna overlap with the way that you work with files. So you might have to consult the previous tutorial on using some of the tools and stuff like that, but the process is going to be the same. You're going to drag a clip over here initially. That's going to set up your editing sequence to be the right resolution and all that. And if you look on the files outside of the system, you can see these are 720 by 1280. So from there, these are clips I pulled. So obviously, you notice that these already have the subtitles or closed captioning in them. And so the clips that you record obviously wouldn't have those, right? So you'd have to do those yourself. So you'd use the text tool in a very similar way. It would be a little more intensive, but you would really learn to use the text tool pretty efficiently. So I think there's a net gain here. But what you'd have to do is when you create a piece of text, it'll only create it maybe about, I don't know, a second or something like that. What is this? If you hover over this and look at the duration, it looks like 4 seconds 29 frames. So they're all like 5 seconds. So obviously, depending on what the person would say, okay, one story I really like is you would time it out by how you thought was appropriate, but you would go in and no, obviously this is a lighter lighter color, so what you'd have to go in under here, see where it says text. One story I really like is we're going to tab that down, and we're under the effects tab here. Whenever you want to affect anything, when in doubt, double click to make sure you're affecting the clip that you want. But we could change the color, but it might be easier to put a stroke on it. That would be like an outline directly on the text. Make this black. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. One story I really like is, okay, so then you'd have that in there. The next line is the hitchhiker. Okay, so let's just pretend this isn't here. The text is not there. I'm actually gonna cheat it. What I'll do is I'll go to effects and then motion. I'm gonna actually just resize this. I'm gonna pull this handle out and push this down so we don't see the subtitles. So then these are our subtitles. So what we would do is we'd take them, we'd click on that, and we would put them down here. So then we would go to our next title. We'd hit the type tool, click on the screen, and okay, so now it says the Hitcher. And the thing is, you could extend the handles. If you hover over the edge of the clip, you'll see that these handles could be pushed in or pulled out. The razor tool will actually let you cut them in half and move them around that way. Again, we went through this in the other tutorial. But you would want to time these appropriate to how the story is being told. And then from there, you would do your interviews that way. So that would be interview 1. You'd have interview 2 and interview 3 next to it. Interview 3 would probably be easier because you would have written that down already. That's the one that is essentially written down the most concise way, where you're, it's been like essentially narrated. So that one you may be able to just copy and paste the text in a few different on a few different title cards. So that's how you would do this project using sign language. Look to the previous tutorial on how to export the timeline. The other thing too is you would want to label. In this particular case, we'd probably make another text file that pops up right on top of this, which is nice. And we would want to make a number. We call this at the top. We can call this interview 1 if we wanted. Interview 1. And you could always shrink that down this way, or go to over here and affect the font that way. But that's fine. And then for this particular one, we could pull this handle out all the way. And what that's going to do is it'll be under the whole interview. And then you'd build your other text tools from here. So the way Premiere works is in layers. So you notice our video 1 is on the bottom, and then this pops through. The text pops through. Let's say you pull this down. Well, that actually would erase the existing video and leave only the text, right? So that's something to keep in mind. It's very much like Photoshop. This is layer 1, this is layer 2, this is layer 3. Okay, that's about it. Good luck. Do your best, read through all the materials, and watch all the tutorials first. What you're going to do is export this and post this and upload it to YouTube in an unlisted YouTube link. And then you're going to paste that link in the discussion group and respond to other people's videos as well. Okay, good luck.